Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the King and I Life podcast. And we are talking about when is enough enough. Uh this is the third segment of this, and we about to get just jump back in it.
hmm
So
hmm
let's talk about envy, greed, and lazy and stuff like that. Along with keeping up with the Joneses and stuff. Um, like you, I've never had the urge to be greedy. um, or even envious of anyone.
Right.
Um, but I would honestly say, in my younger years, I used to be a little envious of people because I saw the things that they had, and it's like, damn, I want that. Damn, I want that. But it was never to the point where it was destructive or compromising of my character or anything like that.
Right.
Um, as far as greedy, um, I think we are all programmed to have a slight amount of greed to us, but it takes, a certain character aspect of you to not let it get out of hand, so to speak.
hmm
And I think when people let it get out of hand, that's when it becomes a problem. Um, lazy. Again, we all can be lazy, but I don't think I've ever been lazy to the point where it was like, you know, I'm gonna do something retarded to keep up with the Joneses. So I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I feel that thieves are fucking lazy.
Oh yeah,
Instead of getting out there working for what they possess, they'll go steal it from someone who's out there, you know, grinding. Like I said, I've had a
yeah.
couple of vehicles stolen from me, and that shit is fucking devastating. Because one of the times I had a vehicle stolen from me, it wasn't my fucking vehicle. It was my father's vehicle that, I was
Oh
kind of
wow.
down on my fucking luck at the time, and he was nice enough, he and my mother, to let me borrow their truck. And this when I was living
Mm,
in Atlanta, man. I guess this is why I have kind of a still a disdain for Atlanta to this day. Um, Meaning I hate when people steal shit from me. And
right.
that particular time, like I said, I was down on my fucking luck. I was just trying to make a way out of no way. So
Hmm.
anyway, this is back when me and my wife were first starting to date, and her family had came over um, from the Bahamas, and we were in Atlanta doing some shopping. So they were already downtown, and it happened in Bulkhead of all places. And
Mm,
anyway, I met them there uh, at one shop, and I mean, I hadn't been away from my vehicle or my father's vehicle for at least about a good 15, 20 minutes. And I came out to retrieve, uh, I can't even hell remember what it was I came out to retrieve, but anyway, the damn truck was gone. And I'm fucking
wow.
panicking like a motherfucker. I'm like, man, please do not tell me this motherfucker is stolen. Please don't. I would have rather have
Mm,
gone into the place where I parked and they say, "Hey, we told you shit," than to hear,
right.
No, we have no idea what you're talking about, sir." So, uh, a thief to me is just a lazy motherfucker. They'll take enough time and energy to steal your shit that you are out there working your ass off for, but won't fucking take that same time and energy and put into a fucking job to get their own shit. Never
Mm,
understood that.
yeah. I've had a car almost stolen from me, but the great thing about it was the damn battery was dead, so they couldn't steal it. It
Oh
was a
man.
Honda Civic, and like it was acting up. So, and I was staying with my mother at the time, so they was repaving the parking lot. So
Mhm.
I sat it on the street. Um, Went to it one day. the next day to move it because I had to pop the hood, hook the battery up, start it, and then move it.
Yeah.
And the goddamn window was broke. The steering column was broke. And I was like, God damn, these jokers try to steal my goddamn car. But yeah, that's how that went. I've had people steal from me before, and most times that I had something, okay, as an adult, I'm not gonna talk about as a child because I've
Mm.
stolen as a child, so I'm not
Right.
gonna count that.
Okay.
Um, because that's when you steal as a child, that falls into what the hell we was talking about. But as an adult, I've never stolen anything from anyone. And the times that I've had something stolen from me, it's always been someone close, someone I knew, like family or shit like that.
Oh,
And it's like,
damn.
yo, I can't fucking believe that you envy me. You're that greedy. You're that selfish and that lazy that you would steal from me. Not that I'm above all, but it's like, yo,
Right.
we look each other in the fucking eyes damn near every day. And you we've known each other for, you know, for a long time and you
Right.
actually stole from me. It's just fucking mind blowing.
Oh man.
Mind blowing.
That's it. I had a 1995 Mustang Cobra, white,
Mm,
chrome rims. The bitch was pretty as fuck. Go to Atlanta, meet one of my homeboys at a damn bar. We go in there, Kiki. We probably in there about a good 2, 3 hours. Come out, my shit is gone.
wow.
So anyway, this is back when I was living. No, I was just visiting that time. I was visiting, and
Mm,
I called the police. They come fill out the damn police report and all that, and then they make my ass ride in the back like I'm a fucking
like you a criminal.
yeah, like I don't broke the goddamn law and shit. So we pull up in front of my sister's house, and my sister and her husband out there like, "Fuck you doing pulling up in the back of a police car? Where the fuck is your car?
Mm,
My shit is gone." Oh man, they're like, "Wow, and you just came up with this bitch to visit. Greyhound your ass back home."
right.
But
Mm,
and then I had a motorcycle stolen from me when I was living in Atlanta. So
wow.
three, two cars, well, one car, one truck, and a fucking motorcycle. And my bike, that was the shit that really pissed me off because I hadn't put so much fucking money into that damn bike. And then to have
Mm,
somebody just steal it out of my fucking front yard. Like that shit,
mm,
oh, that shit. Like I said, that's why I still got a weak spot in my side for fucking Atlanta. Just had, oh no, I just had a whole lot of shit happen. And nothing against the city. It just
mm.
bad shit happened to me while I was out there. That's all.
Right,
But
right, right, right.
I still got
Yeah,
plenty of
that's ridiculous.
family and homeboys out there. So, shouts out to Atlanta. Just shit happened to me while I was out there.
Wow. I could not deal.
Yeah, yeah,
I I'd be done, totally done. Like
yeah.
you couldn't tell me shit else.
That's why I don't live in that motherfucker here to this day, son.
Mm,
So, why are some people driven to compete with or copy others' lifestyles or possessions, you think?
sadly, in most situations, and quite oftentimes in our communities, is because we are envious of the attention those others get. Um, we are starstruck. We want to be seen, and because we look at these images, we're inundated with these images all the time. We think that that's how to live. That's how you make a name for yourself. That's how you grow and get all seen and all that. And it's like that's not what life is about. Like if you are not happy in your square
Right.
without trying to be like someone else, you're not living your life. Um, and the sad thing is, you know, people who do that or see that and want to copy that and stuff like that, you don't know the lifestyle that they're living, and you may not be built for that lifestyle. You may want portions of that lifestyle that you think are attractive to you, but you're not willing to take on that baggage. So it's one of those things that is like a fad. Oh, I see this person with all this, that, and other. I want this, that, and other, so I can get that attention. And that attention is like you can't just insert yourself into that type of thing and want to copy that person. You just can't do it.
I agree. Um, I think the thing about that is, again, we have been so programmed to want to show or display our money, meaning melanated people or darker melanated people, that we have to be flashy, some of us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have to show that we have just as much money as you do. So if we have just as much money as you do, then that means you have to respect us.
Right.
Um, but that's not always the case. When it comes down to living a certain lifestyle, you don't know what that person had to do in order to get into that position that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
whether it be legally or illegally.
Mm-hmm.
Again, each person's walk in life is different. So when I see people with nicer cars or fancier cars or bigger homes or whatever the case may be, above where my income level is, I'd be happy for their motherfucking ass. Really, I do.
Straight up and down.
So I'm like,
Straight
man,
up.
yeah, like if that's where you at in life, then I applaud you. More power to you, because evidently you
Yes.
were willing to do what was necessary in order for you to get in that position. But as
Yep.
far as being jealous or envy, I can't go that route. It just
Mm-mm.
that's what's meant for
It's,
you. And again, the only
yeah,
thing I can do
it's
is be
not. It's
happy
not that
for you.
serious.
Yeah, it's not. It is not. I mean, now would I ride around in a Ferrari or a Lambo? I could afford to rent that shit right now if I wanted to, but I find it kind of
I'm not even
pointless.
doing that.
It's kind of like
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
going to a strip club to me. Back in the day, I would
I,
go in the damn strip club and I throw it up and toss it up. Toss them dollars. I ain't give a fuck. But
mm-hmm.
the older I got, the more wise I got. Like, why am I spending money on pussy I'm not gonna get? Like, I can only
Pretty
look at
much.
it and smell it a little bit.
Pretty much.
But I can't touch it. I can't take it home. I can't rent it for the
Mm-hmm.
weekends. So some people can, but I can't. Um, I just find it pointless. So yes, I'm in the mire of things like that, but jealous of someone else because they got it. Hell, fuck no. Do your thing, bro,
Mm-mm.
or ladies.
Yeah. And yeah. And the crazy thing is, when it comes to this question,
Hmm.
there were times I wanted to copy people, but it was like nothing crazy. It was
Right,
like basic shit. Like it wasn't even no expensive car. It wasn't no um expensive house or anything like that. I might have seen a person with a like a maybe a fucking Honda Accord that I wanted. And it's like, damn, I want that car. They got that shit hooked up, blah, blah, blah. Or
yeah,
they had a bad chick on their arm and it's like, damn, I want that. It was never anything crazy. Like I said, you know, looking at Mercedes and stuff like that is like, yeah, they nice, but I'm not really into it.
right,
Um, I mean, there's been several times I've like, shit, I wish I could have one, but for me, where I was with, it was like that's just not what I want.
right,
And quite honestly, I used to love BMWs, but what told me that I would never, ever, ever, no matter what, buy a BMW is
hmm,
a lot of the BMWs that I used to see, like the back wheels, they would lean in like that. And I was like, why the fuck are those wheels leaning in? It was like no matter what year BMW it was, I
Mhm.
would see the back wheels leaning in, and I was like, I would never buy a BMW. I don't know if it was their car, modifications that they did. I just don't know, but I would always see BMWs like that, and I was like, I would never buy one.
Yeah.
But if I was to copy someone and I really wanted my dream car, it would have been a Lamborghini Murcielago. But I was never in that income range to get one, so it was like that's just the car that I like.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I just copying people was like, man, I got to the age where it's like that shit ain't that goddamn serious. As long as I got what I need to get where I need to go, I'm good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
So is it easier to copy than to make an autonomous decision? Meaning, is it easier to copy someone or live by your own morals or by your own rules? And also, what are commonly copied possessions?
I would say for me, um, to quote 50 Cent, he said, "No one can ever beat you." No, he said, "No one can ever beat me at being me." And
Mm-hmm.
that's back when I was, shit, I forgot how fucking young I was at that point when I heard him say that. But that shit just made sense to me. And he's right. No one can ever
Mm-hmm.
fucking beat you at being yourself.
Right.
So it's kind of like, why would you even want to copy someone else? It doesn't
Exactly.
really make sense
Right.
because as long as you are living, there will never ever be another person like you ever. They might come close to you, but they can never be you. No one can ever beat you at being you. So I would never want to be, like anyone else. And I will say this though: the only person I ever wanted to be like was my dad.
Uh-huh.
And even then, it wasn't I wanted to be completely like him. I just saw certain qualities that he had that I
Right.
admired.
Yeah.
So I always felt like if I can just be half of the man he is, I'm good.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
go ahead.
I to go on to what you were saying, in quoting 50 Cent. Um, when you look at it, um, why would you even want to copy someone else? Again, you can't live their struggles, and when you think you want to copy someone, you only want to copy the good parts of that person that you can actually see.
Right.
And it's like, if you're not built for that, stay where you are. Like, and the thing about it is, unless you are putting in the work to get the wealth that they have, I don't see a problem with that part. But when you operate in a manner to where you want to actually live the same life they're living, like you want to emulate everything about that person, fall back and chill, stay in your lane.
Hmm.
Um, you can look up to that person, but copy them, no. And then you have to think of, your kids or whoever's looking up to you. Like, if your goal is to live that life of that person over there, then you got this person trying to live up to you. You create that domino effect that's just like can be a fatal flaw.
True. Because even when you're copying someone, there's a limit to it.
Yeah.
Meaning, like Michael Jordan. Again, when I was into basketball, I wanted to play like Michael Jordan. Not necessarily
Hmm.
saying I wanted to be Michael Jordan. I just wanted to play on that level of
Right.
of being the greatest,
Hmm.
in some people's eyes. Um, but even then, it was just a mental thing for me. It's not like I ever had aspirations of going playing college ball or definitely not going into the fucking pros. But it's just when I play basketball, I want to be good at this shit.
Right. You want to be the man on the court.
That's it. So um, I don't know. They say flattery is the greatest. What is it? The greatest
Imitation is the best form of
imitation
flattery.
is the
That's
greatest.
how
The,
he put it.
thank you, thank you. So it's cool, but like I said, there has to be a limit to it. You got to realize, why would you want to be someone else when the creator created you to be you?
Hmm.
I always felt like I just want to be the greatest version of myself I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. But
So
then,
go ahead.
what are the what are the commonly copied possessions that people be out there trying to do?
I think um, money,
Hmm.
women, the type of
Hmm.
lifestyle certain people live, they're often imitated.
Yeah.
Um, like when I was growing up, like I said, I used to be surrounded by, when I would go to Mobile, there were gangsters, there were gangbangers, there
Hmm.
were pimps, there were prostitutes, there were, drug dealers,
Hmm.
there were hustlers. I saw it all growing up.
Right.
But the only people that really attracted my attention were the ones that hustle, meaning they
Hmm.
take money and flip that shit. So that was the thing
Right.
that, kind of captivated me. But other than that, all the rest of that shit, it was just like watching a movie in real life.
Hmm.
That's what it was like
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. You know, and the thing about it is, us growing up, when we saw that, it was like, damn, I wish I could be like that dude. But it was like, I can say for us,
Hmm.
it was never a reality because it's like we didn't want that trouble.
No.
And
Ooh, hell no.
I'm not even talking about the trouble from the goddamn police. We didn't want to get knocked upside the head when we went home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was one of the things that kept me away from that knucklehead nonsense. So,
Hmm.
and I honestly can appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Cause shit, when we were living in Germany, there was some pretty sharp cats, man. Meaning,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Andre, big, tall, yellow motherfucker. Uh, that dude, every time you turn around, that dude had another chick. But
What was his last name?
was it Horeo Horizon? I think it's
I don't
Horeo.
remember them.
But anyway, they used to call his ass Big Bird. Was it Big Bird?
Mm-hmm.
Big yellow motherfucker. But anyway, I just thought it was cool. Like,
Uh-huh.
dude got chicks. So anyway, but I never wanted to be like him. That's just, I thought it was cool that they were getting
Right.
chicks. That,
Oh man.
but
Hmm.
as far as the drug dealers that I saw growing up, with the fancy cars and living that fast life, I thought it was amusing, but it never was the type to make me, I want to live like that. I want to
Nah,
do what he do. It's
nah.
like,
It was never like
yeah, yeah. Cause it's like
that.
being in Mobile, like that's all you heard was fucking loud music,
Mm-hmm.
goddamn ambulances, cop cars, um, hood fights, slap boxing. I mean, there's some fun times in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, thank goodness I only stayed, there during the summertime because I don't know, we used to get in our own mess. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I get it. So let's hobbies. What is a hobby to you?
To me, it's doing anything that brings enjoyment, that relaxes you.
Hmm.
So, my hobby is I love working on old things, classic
Right.
cars, classic motorcycles, classic furniture. It's just something else. As long as it's old and I can restore it and bring it back to its natural beauty, that's what I love.
Okay.
How about you?
Um, I look at hobbies as the same thing. I look at hobby as something that calms you, something that that is your interest. Um, it calms you, it relaxes you, it your stimulates you mentally, physically, and emotionally. Um, it's that thing that brings you joy. It
Right.
takes you away from you know everyday life. The rigors of life. That's what I think a hobby is.
Definitely. So when does a hobby become an obsession?
When it takes over your life. Like it's an obsession when it becomes harmful. I'll just leave it just like that.
I can't add on to that. That's perfect. The way I see it.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, yeah. That's as easy as I could put that one.
Right. So at what cost? Meaning money, time, stuff, in the pursuit of more, better stuff.
And that's the thing. When your hobby goes to the point where it's like you looking at your bank account and you got no damn money in there, or you blowing up your credit cards and you selling prized possessions so you can keep up with that hobby. That's when it's too much when it comes to money to me.
Yeah. Um, when you become obsessed with it, though, I mean, that's definitely when things tend to go left.
Yeah, for real, for real.
uh, you willing to set aside anything and everything to achieve what you think will make you feel a certain way. I think, um,
Hmm.
and 9 times out of 10, once you achieve that goal, whatever it may be, there's always going to be the next goal, the next
Yeah,
obsession.
anyway,
So again,
yeah.
it does come back to how much is enough. Like whatever it is, like whether that be chasing money or chasing women or chasing monetary things or life pursuit and goals and things that you think will make you happy.
Hmm.
It's an
Yeah,
obsession. But
straight up. I mean, there's no other way to look at
yeah,
that.
like again, once you get it though, it's always like, so what's the next thing?
Yeah,
How much is enough?
yeah, pretty much, man, pretty much.
I don't think I ever. Let me see. Let me think about. Have I ever pursued anything enough to the point that I'm like, you know what, this shit is detrimental to myself.
When it comes to money,
Yeah, when it comes to money or anything in life, I don't think I've ever been that obsessed with anything.
yeah, I can't ever say it was a time when I was obsessed with something, a hobby, to
Hmm.
where it was like this hobby is more important than paying the bills and shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I can't say either. I can't say either. I just can't say.
I guess we were both blessed to know our limitations at an early age.
True that. Or learned at an early age,
Okay,
or
yeah, yeah.
before it got out of hand.
Trying to tell you, boy.
Mm.
But anyway, we
But
we
yeah,
just
that
gonna.
was part three.
Uh huh.
When is enough enough?
Yes, sir.
We're definitely gonna keep it going. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Tune back in with the King and I Life podcast with your boy, Soul Touching Poet, and my brother in this joint.
Son Soul X.
And hey, just like that, we will be back
Yes,
for
sir.
oh, shit. Oh.